Rochester Music Hall of Famer Lou Gramm is with us this morning. The former lead singer of Foreigner has a show coming up next Friday at Batavia Downs. We were talking about this. How excited are you, the show coming up?
Very excited. Haven't been able to play in the Rochester area the last few years. And before that, we played the Jazz Festival. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So this year, I think Batavia Downs, this is as close as we're going to be. So I'm expecting a lot of Rochester fans and some Buffalo fans, too.
Yeah, come on out, guys, because we don't know when you could see you in Rochester next. You're all over the country. You've toured so many different places. Well, what does it feel like to come back home, you know, to your roots and perform for your local fans who adore you?
It's always a lot of anticipation, you know, and it certainly is a thrill, obviously, and I think Rochester fans are the ones that just let all the emotion out, and you can really relate to them.
There's nothing like them because,
Exactly.
I mean, they're your own,
That's right.
from here.
That's right.
Do you ever interact with the fans during your shows?
Oh, yeah,
terms
absolutely.
Or afterwards, too?
Yes, yeah, we do meet and greets and signings and everything, so it's always a lot of fun to get a little feedback, you know?
Yeah, what kind of feedback do you get?
Couldn't you play a little longer?
They wanted more.
Couldn't you turn it up a little louder?
If we're getting into that, maybe that age range where people are like, hey, turn it up some more. But speaking of the music, the state of the music industry, it's changed so much over the past 40 years.
Unbelievable.
What do you think of it?
Well, I think it's like a different planet out there. I think you've got to understand it to work within it. Record companies used to be big conglomerates, and they had that almighty power to push the artist to the top of the charts and this and that. And I mean, if the artist had the goods, you know. Nowadays, the big record labels are a fraction of what they used to be.
Wow.
And a lot of people go platinum on downloads.
Right.
You know, so anybody can pop up out of anywhere and suddenly they're a hit.
Isn't that something, how radio play was everything, and radio's still relevant now, but you mentioned downloads with iTunes and all the different streaming sites. Are there any musicians out there that you are listening to that you think, man, they really have some incredible talent?
I like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much. And I think there's some really good groups out there. I can't think of the name.
Yeah,
of that
Ed
group.
Sheeran, he's very popular. I know one of our camera operators, she's not in here right now. She's a big Ed Sheeran fan, so she'd be happy to hear that. Any advice for someone, you know, we don't really see the big rock groups of yesterday, like Foreigner, and you think of Journey and some of those groups, but any advice for anyone who's out there saying, you know, we want to bring this back, or we want to become a musician, we want to make it big? What's one piece of advice you'd give them that maybe you've learned over the years?
This is really something that my dad taught me and insisted that I do. He wasn't thrilled that I was choosing popular music as a career, and he and my mom insisted that after high school I at least get 2 years of college in. So if music didn't work out, I have something to fall back on. And I think that's one of the smarter things I ever did.
And you did. You went to MCC, is
That's
that right?
correct, yes.
And what was your fallback?
I was going to be a teacher.
Yeah?
Yes.
Teacher of rock.
No. History teacher.
History teacher.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that is a great piece of advice, and well, you heard it here. Kids, go to school.
That's right.
But you made it, and so you don't have to fall back on that teaching degree.
No, but you know, sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like if that's how things would end up.
Yeah.
You know.
We would have just had Lou Grammatico.
That's correct.
But we have Lou Gramm, and so the world's so much better for it. And we thank you for your gift and all the music that you've generated through the years. So we want to remind folks that he's at Batavia Downs, presents Lou Gramm, the Jukebox Hero, and this is Friday, July 7th. Doors open at 4. The show's at 5:30. You've got some other artists along for the ride too, is that right? Any other singers, or is it? You're the main act.
Two other singers.
Two other singers. Okay. Okay. Famous Fred and the Creatures Unknown and Lost Elysium, I believe. So tickets still available. You can go on Batavia Downs on their website, or you can just show up at the door, and tickets are pretty reasonable. And I think there's a bonus too. You can get in there and have some fun. Thanks so much for joining us.
My
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, thank you. Same here.
We'll be right back.